Radiance Films have been putting out excellent Blu-ray releases all year, and they are keeping up this brilliant streak with two of their latest releases that I have here. I have the fantastic box set Commedia all'italiana, 3 films directed by Dino Risi, and also the single Blu-ray title release, a film from Benny Chan, A Moment of Romance. I'll be talking about both of these releases in this video and why I think they are so good. But first I'm going to focus on this box set, the Dino Risi set, because I had such an amazing time with these films. This is only their second Blu-ray box set, but they are clearly showing that they know how to put such a fantastic set together. And if you're a fan of the Criterion collection, this box set features a film that is within their collection that is much improved on this new disc. I'm talking about this one, Ilso Passo, so I'll talk about that a bit later in the video. But now let's get into it. What is this box set and why do I think it is worth paying attention to? Well, these 3 films, directed by Dino Risi, this is the first time these are being presented on Blu-ray in this country. Italian cinema has quite an interesting history with the comedy genre. Historically, they would make a lot of comedies in the vein of American comedies, the screwball comedies, the Hollywood Cary Grant style comedies. But then following Italian neorealism in drama, which brought a lot of naturalistic performances, real locations, etc. to the films, giving them a real grounded, authentic feel. Commedia all'italiana, or comedy Italian style, or the Italian way, evolved out of Italian neorealism. And the 3 films in this set are key films to this movement. Dino Risi was one of the directors responsible for growing this style of filmmaking. And the films themselves are very funny, but they are uniquely Italian. And they focus on issues in Italian society. A big focus is relationships, romance, divorce, the breaking up of a relationship, topics such as crime and dishonesty and thievery. These are also featured in this type of comedy. And in order to make these comedies work and be such good films, they need central performances, key comedic actors. And in this set, you see such great comedic actors in Alberto Sordi and Vittorio Gassman carrying these films and really giving such strong comedic performances. And another important thing is the films are beautiful to look at. They weren't very stagey. They did go out to different locations as an evolution of Italian neorealism, like I mentioned earlier. So real locations were key in kind of grounding these stories in Italian society. The first film in the set, Il Vedovo, stars Alberto Sordi as this terrible businessman. He's really bad with money and he is just leeching off his wealthy wife. And there isn't really great love in this relationship. And he starts to see ways that he could get some great inheritance money out of her. And that is what the comedy is centered around. Sordi is so funny, gives such a strong performance. And this was my first time watching this one. Had such a great time. All 3 discs in the set have various special features. This one features different visual essays about this film and Alberto Sordi. The next one is Il Mattatore, starring Vittorio Gassman. He plays a con man who is very good at performing and acting, putting on different accents and stuff like that. He is able to con his way through life, and this film is about life catching up with him. And again, that is what the comedy is set around, and it is done so brilliantly. And again, a lot of great special features on this disc. There's a documentary about Gassman on here. Had such a great time with this one. But then we come to what I think is the centerpiece of this set, Ilso Passo. Again, starring Vittorio Gassman alongside Jean-Louis Trintignant, who is brilliant in this film. And the idea of this is 2 men are flung together with very different personalities, and they go on this road trip. And on this journey, they discover different things about their pasts, their history, that inform how they are acting in the present. It's a brilliant film. This one is so good to me. This is a 5-star movie for me. And while it is a comedy, it's also quite philosophical. Lots of different things that you can take away from this film. It isn't just a film to laugh at. There is a lot of meaning in this film, and I'm able to see aspects of myself in these two different characters. And yeah, I find it deeply impactful. The film also looks stunning on this Blu-ray. It's taken from a 4K restoration that was done a few years ago now, but it hadn't come out on disc here or in the US. And that is where it beats the older Criterion Blu-ray that is almost 10 years old at this point, that doesn't feature the latest restoration. Compared to this older disc, on the new one you can see so much more detail in the image. Everything is crystal clear. It really is a revelation in terms of the step up in quality here. It seems like there is much better encoding going on here, better compression compared to the older Criterion Blu-ray. So that is to say that if you're a fan of this film already and you have that Criterion disc, this is definitely worth upgrading to. And if you haven't seen this film at all, you're completely new to the films of Dino Risi, this is absolutely a perfect set to start with. And also in the box set you get a very nice booklet featuring 5 essays on the films of Dino Risi and an archival interview with Risi himself in this book. A fantastic addition to a brilliant set of films. So this is an amazing set from Radiance. I cannot recommend this highly enough. Hopefully I've made that clear. I really did have such an amazing time with this, and it really does show that this new label has really been such a godsend to collecting films in 2023. Now let's just talk a bit about A Moment of Romance. This is a film directed by Benny Chan, starring Andy Lau, and it's produced by Ringo Lam and Johnny To. So there's a lot of great names involved in here surrounding Hong Kong cinema, and this was a first time watch for me, and what a great surprise this film was. The film follows this getaway driver who ends up having to take this girl hostage in order to escape. And following this, there ends up being this strange relationship, this strange romance between the getaway driver and this girl who he took hostage. It's quite a beautiful film to look at, very stylish, lots of great locations, brilliant action, particularly at the start of the film as this getaway is ensuing. And you can't help but notice the influence that Johnny To would have had on this film. It would easily slot into his own filmography of films he directed. The Blu-ray is taken from a new 4K restoration and it does look beautiful. Everything about it is just great. Beyond that, there are some great special features on here. There's a visual essay about Hong Kong cinema, there's an interview with Benny Chan, and there is an audio commentary from Frank Zheng, who is, an expert on all things Asian cinema. I've become so used to listening to Frank Zheng's commentaries on all of the Eureka releases. So another absolute hit from Radiance. I know I've been saying that about basically everything that they've released so far, but the level of quality has just been so good, and I really hope that it continues for a long time. So hopefully that's given you a bit of insight into these two fantastic releases from Radiance. If you are interested in picking these up, I'll include some links in the description of this video, and if you use them, it helps support this channel at no additional cost to you. You can watch more videos on boutique Blu-rays and Radiance films if you click the one that is presented on screen right now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.